Hi friends, welcome to my next video session. So in this session I am going to discuss about how to pass arrays to the functions. So that is using arrays with functions. So in my previous sessions I have discussed how to pass values to the function and how to pass addresses to the function. That is call by value and call by reference we have discussed. So where we send either values of variables or address of variables from the calling function to the called function. Similarly, we can also pass arrays to the functions. So that is name of the array we can pass and size of the array we can pass, and that is called passing arrays to the functions. So here we are going to discuss about how to pass one-dimensional arrays to the function and how to pass two-dimensional arrays to the functions. Okay. So because we come across similar operations while performing arrays, whether it may be one-dimensional array or two-dimensional array. So that's why if we can pass the arrays to the function, if we understand how to pass arrays to the functions, it will be very easy for us to write the programs. So let's focus on first how to pass one-dimensional arrays to the functions. Okay, so to pass one-dimensional arrays to the function, it is enough to list name of the array without any subscripts and size of the array as the arguments. That is, while calling a function using arrays, we have to use size of the array, name of the array and size of the array. So name of the array need not have any subscripts. Say for example, here you can observe here we are calling a function called large. Here function called largest is name of the function, and parameters, it consists of two parameters a comma n. So here a is name of the array, so which we will have declared earlier, array name. Okay, say for example int a of 10, like that we would have declared, and n is size of the array. So here this is largest of a comma n is invoking the function called largest with the two actual parameters. So first parameter happens to be name of the array without subscripts, means no square braces and size, comma, and n will be the size of that array. Okay, so the function called largest a comma n will pass the whole array to the called function. Here the called function is largest, so we must have defined the function called largest and we are calling that function, okay, using this function call. Okay, so that's why whole array, the complete array a will be passed to the called function. Okay, so the called function expecting this call must have been appropriately defined. So that's why in the call function, so called in the called function called largest, its header looks like this. See, int, this is the header of the called function, int return type, name of the function is largest, then these are the formal parameters within parentheses. So here largest a comma n, in function call we have two actual parameters. So that's why function definition must have two formal parameters. So first formal parameter you can observe int array without size, because here also we are passing array name a without any size. Okay, no square braces. So that's why here we have to specify the data type of array. So data type of array is int. Array is defined. See this, while calling means in the calling function name of the array is a. In the called function name of the array is AR or AY. Okay, you can observe here in the calling function a, in the called function array, and without size, just simply square bracket, because it is one-dimensional array we have used only one pair of square braces. So this is corresponding to a, int array square bracket, comma, corresponding to n, second actual parameter. So formal parameter is data type int n. Okay, semicolon, because this is the function prototype or function declaration. Okay, so here if it is a function header, this semicolon should not be there, that you have to observe. If semicolon is there, it is function declaration or function prototype. If semicolon is not there, it is a function header. Okay, so see, you will understand it better if you see the program. Let us consider a problem of finding out the largest value in an array of elements. Say suppose for example, if your array has got 10 elements, among 10 elements which element is largest. So that you have to find out. Okay. So for that we shall write a program by using the concept of passing array to the function. So we use concept of function here and we pass the array. First we read the array, then we pass that array to the function. In the function we compute the largest of all the elements. Okay. See, the program looks like this. Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h preprocessor directives. Now see, this is the function declaration or function prototype, giving the information to the compiler saying that there is a function called largest. So we have defined a function called largest whose return type is integer, okay, which has got two arguments, two parameters. So first parameter is an array of integers. See, int a of no size here. So first parameter, formal parameter is an array of integers, comma. Second parameter is n of data type integer. Because this is a function declaration or function prototype, we have used semicolon here. Then main function starts here. So in the main function we have written, see, opening brace. We have declared variables here. We are going to read the array. First we have to read the array. So that's why for loop is necessary. That's why here variable I is used. So you can observe the declarations here. Right, I is variable used in for loop, n is size of the array, and we have declared array a of 10, comma. To store the largest element we use LG. LG is the variable, semicolon. All are of data type integer. So I is an integer, n is an integer, a of 10 is an integer, and LG variable is an integer terminated by semicolon. Okay. So first we have to read the array. So clear screen. Then enter the value of array size, that is enter the value of n. Then we have scanf. So scanf ampersand n. Every scanf should be preceded by printf. So that's why enter the value of n. So scanf percentage to n. So n gives you the size. Say for example n is equal to 10 means your array contains 10 elements. So you have to read 10 elements. You have to input 10 elements. Suppose n is equal to 5. So you have to input 5 elements. So that's why now you have to read the array. So this is the code for reading the array. Before that we have just used one printf statement. Printf in new line, enter percentage d elements, comma n, means if n is 5 it will display enter 5 elements. If n is 10 it will display, this printf statement will display enter 10 elements, because n value we are printing here in percentage d place. So now we have to read array. You know that in order to read one dimensional array we use one for loop with scanf statement. So that's why for I assign a value 0, I is less than n, I plus plus scanf percentage d, comma ampersand a of I. So this is the code which we have already discussed while discussing arrays, how to read one dimensional array. Same for loop with scanf ampersand a of I. So if value of n is equal to 5 inputs you have to give, they will be stored in array A. So now here we are calling a function called large. See, we are using assignment statement. Large assigned a value, largest of a comma n semicolon. So here largest of a comma n is the function call, means we are calling a function called largest. Now the control should go to the largest. So here we must have defined a function called the largest. You see, we have defined a function called largest here. Largest function is defined. Okay, so you can observe here largest name is same. A return type of largest function is integer. Okay, then a, corresponding to a we have to use formal parameter int a with a pair of square braces, comma n. So int n. So this is what the function largest will return integer data type. So return type is integer. So this is the, see, that's why I say largest, name of, observe here, name of function largest. Two actual parameters a comma n. Here two formal parameters with data type declaration int a of without size. So while calling a function we just simply pass name of the array here. That's what you have to observe. What is name of the array here in the declaration? See, we have declared a of 10. We are not passing a of 10, just we are passing only a, largest a, comma n is size of the array. But in function definition you have to declare array without size. See, int a without size, comma corresponding to second actual parameter int n. So now here complete array what you read here using these two statements, right? complete array elements which you read using these statements, you are passing that array and that will be available in A. Okay, here. Now here you are finding out the largest. What is the concept of finding out the largest? So first element we are going to consider 0 and we are comparing the remaining elements with the first element. If any of the remaining element is greater than the first element, we will make it large. So that's why we have taken here for loop we have to use here. So variable I is used in the for loop. So I is declared as of type integer, and to store the largest element we use one variable called max. So max is declared as of type integer. First we consider the first element of the array as the large. So that's why max assigned value A of 0, means the first element of array A is considered as large, maximum number. Then we have to compare the remaining numbers with max. That's why we use for loop. For I assigned value 1, you can observe here we have not taken from 0 because 0 is considered as max. That's why from the next element onwards till the last we have to compare. That's why for loop you have to observe here for I assigned value 1 semicolon I is less than n I plus plus, means from element 1 to last element. What we will do, see here, body of the for loop, if max is less than A of I, means the next element is larger than max. Okay, what we will do, we will consider A of I next element as the max. That's why max assigned value A of I. Suppose if next element A of I is not larger than max, just this statement condition is false, so this statement is skipped. So that's why this statement is executed if max is less than A of I, means A of I is greater than max. True means this is executed. If A of I is less than max, then this is false, condition is false, this is skipped. Then control comes back to I plus plus. Like this, the max element will be compared with all the elements. If any of the elements is larger than max, that will be made max. So finally, max variable holds the largest element. So return max here. Every function must have return statement if it returns. No? So return max. Whatever the value stored in max, that will be returned to the calling function. So what is the calling function here? Main. So here in main, control comes back to the main. Okay. So this is the main function. So control comes back to the position where the function was called. So here the function was called. Then max value comes here. That will be stored into variable LG. Now print what is there in LG. See, printf largest element is %d. So in place of %d, what we will do? Largest element is printed. Largest element is printed. Okay. Get ch, end of the program. So this is how we can use, or we can pass an array to the function. We can pass an array to the function. So name of the array without any size and size of the array. Okay. So this we are passing. And the receiving function, so formal parameters, okay, must be declared. So that's the first formal parameter corresponding to A. A is name of the array. So here it should be declaration without size. Int A square brackets comma n is int n. Okay. So this is what in passing an array to a function, one dimensional array to the function. Okay. And if you just execute it, enter value of n 5. Enter 5 elements. What is the largest? That will be available in max. So return max means that will be stored into LG. LG value will be printed. Largest element is 70. Okay. So there are 3 rules to pass an array to a function. So to recap, these are the rules to pass an array to a function. The function must be called by passing only name of the array, just A, name of the array. And in the function definition, the formal parameter must be an array type. Size of the array does not need to be specified. In the function definition, see this formal parameter. So first formal parameter should be array declaration without size. Okay, that is what very important. Whereas in calling a function, just name of the array. So name of the array, this one, name of the array. Corresponding to that, in the function definition, we have to declare the array without size. Then n int n. So that is what the point. And the function prototype must show that the argument is an array. So in the function prototype, we must show that the argument is an array. So that's what, same function header. Now this line function header terminated by semicolon is the function prototype. See, this is the function prototype. Function prototype must show that the argument is an array. See, this is the argument which is an array. Okay, this is the argument, function prototype, this is the argument which is an array. Okay, so that is about the 3 points you need to remember about passing one-dimensional array to the function. The function must be called by passing only name of the array. Then in the function definition, the formal parameter must be an array type. The size of the array should not be specified. And in the function prototype, okay, it must show that the argument is an array. Okay. So similarly, we can pass two-dimensional arrays also to the function, same as that of one-dimensional array, but with a slight change. See, this passing two-dimensional array approach is similar to one-dimensional array, and following rules have to be followed while writing a program. So what are those rules? Let us say the function must be called by passing only the array name similar to the one-dimensional array. And in the function definition, we must indicate that the array has two dimensions or two subscripts. So this is what important here. In the function definition, we must specify that the array has, instead of one subscript, it has two subscripts by including two sets of square brackets. In one dimension, while passing one-dimensional array, one pair of square brackets will be there. In passing two-dimensional array, two sets of square brackets will be there. Okay, and the difference is the size of the second dimension must be specified here. We have to specify the size of the second subscript or second dimension, whereas in passing one-dimensional array we don't specify size. That is the difference. And same, the prototype declaration should be similar to the function header. That is as usual. See, here say for example, let us see program to find average of a given matrix. These are preprocessor directives, and here say this is the function prototype where we pass two-dimensional arrays. Name of the function is average. Return type of the function is float, which has got three arguments here because name of the array and first rows columns. So that's how many arguments it must have? Three arguments. Okay. So return type, the name of the array function, then first parameter is an array declaration with second subscript having size, second dimension or second subscript. First subscript without size, you see int a without size square brackets, second subscript 5, comma, then m number of rows int m, comma, number of columns int n, because it is a function declaration, function prototype, semicolon. Okay. So we are finding out average of given matrix, means we add all the elements of the matrix, then divide it by row number multiplied by column number, that gives you the average. Okay. So first you have to read the array. So that's why see void main or simply main you can take, and we have to read two-dimensional array. That's why you have to declare two-dimensional array. So a 5, then number of rows and columns m comma n, because reading and writing two-dimensional array needs two for loops. So that's why I and j are the two for loop variables, I and j, all are of type integer. Average we have to calculate, so that's why we take one variable average of data type float. Okay. This is declaration. Clear screen. Now first you have to read the size of the array. So enter number of rows and columns. That's why scanf %d ampersand m comma ampersand n. M specifies number of rows, n specifies number of columns. Then you have to read the matrix. We have already discussed in our previous videos how to read the matrix. Just one printf statement is taken, enter the matrix or enter the matrix elements, whatever you want. Now to read the matrix, two for loops and scanf. So that's why see, this is two for loops with scanf. For I s and value 0, I is less than m, comma I plus plus, number of rows. For j s and value 0, j is less than n is number of columns, j plus plus scanf. %d, comma ampersand a of I j. So this is used to input the elements into array A. So name of the array or name of the matrix is A here. Okay. Then here we are calling the function average assigned a value, because we have declared variable avg to store the average. Avg to store the average elements, sum of array elements divided by product of rows and columns. That's why we are calling a function to compute the average of array matrix elements, and we are calling that function, see, average, name of the function is average, with how many parameters? 3 parameters. So what is the first, this is a, m, n or actual parameters. So what is a? Name of the array. See, though array is declared as a of 10, a of 5, 5, but we are just sending name of the array a. Okay, then only rows and column values we are passing. See, a comma m is number of rows, n is number of columns, semicolon. So this is the function call. Now control goes to a function. We must have defined a function with called average with 3 or formal parameters. See, control comes back here. The return type, see, whatever the value that comes, that should be stored into variable average. How average is declared? Average is declared as float type. So your function should return float value. So this is what you have to observe. See, name of the function is average, return type of the function is float with 3 formal parameters. So there, while calling, we had called average a comma m comma n. So first first parameter, actual parameter a, corresponding to that we must declare 2-dimensional array, this one, int a, first subscript no size, second subscript size 5. Actually, while declaring in main, we have declared int a of 5, 5, but here in formal parameter, in the function header, we specify only size of the second subscript or second dimension. First dimension is blank, no size is specified. So this is corresponding average a, corresponding to a, this is the declaration. A comma m, corresponding to m, this is the declaration, int m, comma a comma m comma n. No? So that's why for n, int n is the formal parameter, right? And this is body of the function. So here we have to take once again 2 for loops. So for loop variables I comma j, these are local variables to average we are declaring, and initially float sum assigned value 0.0, because we have to add all the elements. So in situations where you have to add so many elements at a time, so you have to initialize one variable to 0, because you are computing the average as the float. So you have taken sum also as 0.0 float. Sum is initialized to 0.0. Data type is float. Now see, here you are adding all the elements, okay, using these 2 for loops. 2 for loops, for that body is only this much, sum assigned a value, sum plus a of I. This is nothing but sum plus is equal to a of ij is nothing but sum assigned a value, sum plus a of ij. So for I assigned value 0, I is less than m, I plus plus. For j assigned value 0, j is less than n, j plus plus. Initially sum is equal to 0.0. Now all the elements of matrix will be added to sum. Result is available in sum. Okay. Now you have to divide the sum by product of rows and columns. So that's why we will say return sum divided. Sum is computed here using this 2 for loops. So for these 2 for loops, body is only sum plus is equal to a of I. Now return sum divided by sum slash m star n, product of rows and columns. M is number of rows and n is number of columns, m star n. So whatever it comes, that will be returned. Where it will be returned? Value. So return type is what? We have specified float. Okay. So that's why where we have called this function average, in main we have called. So at this point we have called. So here the average value comes, and that will be copied into AVG. There the function average has returned float type value. See, float type value. So that's why here at the returning place AVG should also be float. So that's why we have declared AVG as data type float. You can observe here AVG is declared as data type float. Okay. So now once it is copied into AVG, now we can print that value of AVG. The average of given matrix, average of given matrix is percentage of. Okay. So in percentage of you are printing value of AVG, whatever it was returned. Then end of program. Get ch means end of program. So this is how you can observe that while calling a function, while passing a 2-dimensional array, just we have to specify name of the array, then number of rows comma number of columns. Whereas in your function header corresponding to a comma m comma n 3 actual parameters, you must declare respectively. See, float, average corresponding to a, declaration of array, but important that only second subscript or second dimension must have the size and first dimension should not have size, and int m for rows, comma int n for columns, and this is body of the function. Here ij, some are local variables to average. You can observe that ij are in average, and even ij are also in main function. See, ij are also in main function. This is important. Let observe. So here ij, these ij are local to main function. These are different from this ij, which are local to average function. Okay. This is what passing two-dimensional array to the function. So here it will ask, enter, when you execute it, enter number of rows and columns, 3 3. Enter the matrix, 3 rows 3 columns you have entered. Then average of the given matrix is this 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. How much it will get? 3 plus 3 6, 8, 12, 17, 20, 24 divided by 9. It comes to 2.667. So this is what passing functions to the passing arrays to the functions, whether it may be one-dimensional array or two-dimensional array. Okay. So this is all about module 4. Thank you for watching this video.